Welcome back. 85% of Americans start their day with caffeine, but the timing of your morning brew matters just as much as what's in your cup.
I definitely am part of that 85%. Here with more is Dr. Ella Akkerman, a neurologist with VSI. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
Yes. Absolutely. So you know a lot about how coffee interacts with the brain. So let's just kick off. What's kind of the #1 thing that you've learned?
So caffeine can be your helper or it can be your enemy.
Okay.
It's a drug. So the more you know about its effects, the more you know about its adverse effects, the more you can be in charge and let it not be in charge of you.
Makes sense.
Important, very important. And so my question is, I'm not as big of a coffee drinker, but I love my sodas that have caffeine. So is this all caffeine that we drink, or this specifically coffee?
I think that you need to understand how each caffeinated beverage can affect you. But we're discussing total amount of caffeine you should have per day, which is no more than 400 milligrams per Food and Drug Administration recommendations. But honestly, 400 milligrams is a little bit too much, I would say, for an average person. If you're not a regular coffee drinker, you probably don't want to exceed 200. And each cup of coffee, of regular coffee, has about 100.
Oh, wow.
And each regular mug has about 200.
So really 4 cups of coffee is the maximum you would recommend?
That would be pushing it.
That would be pushing. You're like, maybe not. I'm a 1 cup a day girl, so don't worry. But let's talk about timing of coffee. A lot of people wake up and immediately have their morning cup. Is that the right way to go about it?
I would not recommend it, and that is because of your biological rhythms. We have a hormone, cortisol, which is basically our natural body's espresso shot. And this hormone peaks about an hour after we wake up, for most people around 9 a.m., between 8 and 9 a.m. So if you're someone that wakes up around 7 a.m., I would wait an hour and a half to even 2 hours sometimes before you would have your first cup of coffee.
Wow.
Otherwise, you are going to double up on your caffeine, I should say.
Okay, so timing is important is what I'm hearing. And what about those who may skip meals and drink only that cup of coffee, or even those people who the timing isn't really early morning, it's right after that 3 o'clock slump? So what do you recommend about drinking coffee later in the day?
So caffeine gets metabolized over at least 10 to 12 hours, okay? And so if you're going to have that cup of coffee at 3 p.m., you're not going to get it out of your system until about midnight or even later.
Oh, wow.
And so unless you're prepared to pull an all-nighter, I don't recommend drinking a cup of coffee about right now. I would probably have done it a little bit earlier.
This is good to know, because I cut off at 4 p.m. if I happen to drink 2 cups, but now I know I got to cut off earlier. I also wanted to talk about drinking coffee on an empty stomach versus with food. Does it make a difference?
Never drink a coffee on an empty stomach, especially in the morning.
Okay.
I'll explain why. Overnight, our sugar levels get depleted. The only sugar that we have left in our body is in our liver. And when we drink caffeine, it naturally releases those stores.
Okay.
And so when you do that first thing in the morning, you got rid of all of your sugar storage, and then, well, if you're not going to eat for another hour or so, you can dip low. If you're going to be doing anything physical at all, even this light walk can make you feel faint.
Wow.
Yeah, and caffeine also gets absorbed into your body much quicker. The onset may be much faster, and you may feel jittery, faint, lightheaded, nervous. Don't do that to yourself.
I was going to say, none of these things sound good.
Not very pleasant. And one thing, you brought a lovely display of cream and sugar, which everyone loves to put into their coffee. What are your thoughts about the additives to coffee? Should we steer away? Should it be in moderation?
In my opinion, less is more. In general, you don't want to do too much sugar, because then you will raise too much sugar, then it will dip along with the caffeine, and you will have this withdrawal effect. Then, of course, the insulin effect also can be in there. And then You also don't want to use the artificial sweeteners because they counteract effect of the caffeine, which is a natural antioxidant. I don't know if you've heard, caffeine actually can protect you from neurodegenerative diseases.
Oh, wow.
Like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease. And when you use those artificial sweeteners, you pretty much cancel that out.
This is good to know. Makes me want to drink a little more coffee. I wanted to ask something. I get the occasional migraine, and I've always heard that caffeine kind of has a interesting relationship with migraine. Sometimes people say it helps, sometimes it hurts. Do you have thoughts on that?
Absolutely. So there are 2 points to caffeine and migraines. Number 1, it allows absorption of whatever analgesic you're taking quicker into your body by speeding up your GI tract. Okay, and then the other effect is it helps constricting the blood vessels. In migraine, your blood vessels are dilated, all these pain chemicals are released, and then the caffeine helps constrict those blood vessels. But just enough caffeine.
Okay.
If you do too much, then you'll get withdrawal later on and rebound dilation of blood vessels and a headache. So you want to be smart about your caffeine so that you can help your brain, not hurt it.
Absolutely. Got to protect that brain right there.
We got to protect the brain. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. For more information, how can we get in contact with you?
You can find me on vsispine.com.
Fantastic. Well, thank you again.
You're welcome.